We are rolling like Limp Biscuit. We're rolling, baby. Did you ever play NHL Hits like 1999?
Not NHL. No, I'm not a big hockey guy. I never got into it. I was more of a Blitz guy.
It was basically Blitz for hockey, and it was a blast. Like you could check
Yeah.
people through the glass, like you could get in fights and stuff. Like it was a great game.
Yeah. Had Limp Bizkit on the soundtrack, I'm sure. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rolling. Like that was the only song on the soundtrack. Like, and so you just listen to that
That's the
song for
only
3 hours.
one.
It was like it's burnt into my brain forever. Welcome to Browns Out of Town. This is with a Week 7 review, Week 8 preview. I'm Ray Roberts. That gentleman over there who is enjoying a nice Wednesday cigar is James Crawford. How are you, sir?
Ow. Doing great. Doing great.
What kind of cigar you got?
The same shitty one I've had every other
Same
time.
ones?
Yeah.
Any fans of Cigar Sunday? Jimmy's been
Yeah.
nursing fucking backwoods for,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
3 weeks.
I think I have 6 more of these, and then I can buy some new ones.
Well, I had like a good bonus check like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna rip like a $20 cigar, and then it's been like 30 degrees out. And it's like I'm not even gonna be able to enjoy it.
I've got a guy who knows a guy in Miami. It's gonna get us some good ones. So they're not Cubans; they're just good Miami cigars.
Yeah, it's 2020. You can get like Cubans and good cigars anytime. It's called the internet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not buying Cuban cigars. That's what I'm saying. I'm just getting
Well, I'm
good
just
Miami
saying, but
cigars.
you can get good ones online. You don't need a guy who knows a guy anymore.
Not these cigars. I don't know. I can't. I've had these before. I know I got to go through this guy who knows a guy. So
Just like, okay, that's fine. Jimmy's got a cigar guy in 2020. That's very impressive.
I have a guy who has a cigar guy. Shout out
Oh,
that. Yeah.
Well, we're already off the rails. Point of the podcast. Everything Browns is now in their town. I want to stay in touch with the Browns. Make sure you hit us up on @Browns Out of Town. Rate, review, subscribe, reach out on social media, and share. We've been stuck at exactly the same listeners and the exact same views on YouTube for like 4 weeks in a row. So we
Yeah.
know you people like the show. Why aren't you telling your friends? Like it's the same people.
Yeah.
And
Who's that? Who's that other guy we got to shout out? I wonder if he's actually listening. The guy.
I don't know, Jimmy. That's I think that's something that once you open that can of worms,
hit us up on the Instagram for that inside joke. If you want in on it.
Yeah, we will point out exactly who that guy is to anybody who
And if you're watching, you know exactly who you are.
Oh, 100%. You don't have those drawings without knowing. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be like you can make a drawing of us. If you make a drawing of us, we will feature it on this podcast. Good thing Jimmy's sitting outside smoking cigars, so we can see him frozen with his glass of whiskey. But no, just we might swear every once in a while. I already have sworn. That's good. But it is, we actually have stats this week, so all the stats have been from Pro Football Reference. Betting odds I didn't look up, so I suck at that. I do have the win probability from ESPN, so we'll go with that. But I can find it. It's not a big deal. Jimmy, while I look up the voting odds on FanDuel.com, what's going on in Toledo?
Not a whole lot. Joe Jorgensen was here last weekend. Somebody got stabbed at the Kroger down the street from my house 2 nights ago.
Separate occasions? Okay, I was gonna say like you blended those two things together.
Yeah, separate events. I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, that's Toledo.
Do they know who did the stabbing?
What's that?
Did they catch the guy who did the stabbing?
I don't remember. I don't think I read that far in the article. I just saw the headline, which is Toledo news. So
yeah, that's just the news there. Well, that's exciting. We have up here, so that's your Toledo update and your Joe Jorgensen update of the week. Did they release numbers on that, or did you even care to look?
She said, I did read a little bit on that article about her being here. She basically said, she's like, I know I'm not going to win the election, but I hope that I can just change some minds, Like, then how much money do you have? Why are you even out? Like, is it just good for the people?
It's for nerds. That's all it
in
is.
here.
It's for nerds. I don't like it. I don't like third party has always just been for nerds. And I understand like until there's like a real third party candidate. Like if Bernie Sanders ran for it, like that'd be a legit third party candidate. Or
Yeah.
like when Roosevelt did it back in the day. But whatever. Um Wisconsin update. We are in the middle of a quote unquote voluntary shutdown. Because the governor, when they did the original shutdown, it got deemed unconstitutional. Then they tried to limit it to 25% capacity. That got ruled unconstitutional and then flipped over again. So the governor basically just said it was a voluntary shutdown, and nobody's following it. And it's just like I think Wisconsin's just said fuck the government. Like it doesn't exist here. Like
Yeah.
nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything. Like we're wearing masks because it's the law, but it's like it's wild. Like just nobody
Yeah.
cares.
That's kind of crazy. I was talking to Rose about this earlier today because our babysitter we have come twice a week. She was exposed to COVID last week and then told us that she was exposed to COVID like right after she left our house that day. Like she just found out that she was exposed. So we were like, talking about how we have to quarantine this weekend just in case. And then she ended up getting like a rapid test and came back negative. So there's no way she would have spread it to us. But I think we have PTSD from like even thinking about going into a lockdown again because we, with the newborn baby at the time, we honestly didn't see people for 3 months. It was terrible. So I don't want to do that again either. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and it's like a very like because when I had it, like I as soon as I was more afraid of it before I had it, and
Yeah.
then like once I got over it, I was like, all right, cool. Like it's something that I'll get over pretty well. And then like so then we moved here and like it was like everything was open, like people were wearing masks and like being socially distant and like not being assholes about it, like nobody's been like a dick about it, but like it was everything was fine, and then they like lowered capacities, all this stuff. Like the
Yeah.
closest like club to me here in Wisconsin, they just or in Milwaukee, they just shut down for the foreseeable future because they're already operating at like 20% capacity, and then like somebody at the show this past weekend had it and like spread it to people, so it was like it's just real weird. But like I work
Wow.
at like a corporation that has 900 people that work in my office, and like nobody's gotten it. Like it just doesn't make like the whole thing
Yeah, that's
doesn't make
impressive.
sense.
That's really impressive though. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we've done a good job, but like almost accidentally you would have to have gotten it at some point, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, you would think so. I don't think we've had any cases within our corporate office either. So, but we're not that big as far as like the actual corporate office goes. So
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, that's your
we're
COVID
also
update.
remote for the most part. So
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like I don't get it. But COVID's ruining everything.
yeah,
But I'm investing in other things to like be funny again, so that'll be fun. Um, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I bought like a mic cord and like like those mini amps that you can like put on your belt buckle.
yeah.
Like, I
Are you
got
just
one
gonna
of
do it
those.
on
So
the
like
sidewalk? Are you gonna preach
yeah,
on the sidewalk?
yeah. Like I have an idea for like a video of like a comedy Uber where like you order it to your house instead of having to go somewhere. And I want to like show up to people's houses and just do like 2 minutes on their porch.
You could
Uh,
Christmas Carol, but just do like stand up instead.
Oh, like I have a mic stand and everything. Like the only thing I was missing, like I
Yeah,
just want to show up to somebody's house and like have a mic stand in my own amp and just be like, "Let me ask you a question." Like that's the only, like that's the whole point of the whole video is just so I can say that stupid hack line. I don't know. Let's talk about football. We can do that. We're 10 minutes in. Um, Buckeyes. They had their first game. They destroyed Nebraska like they should. Did you watch the full game?
I turned it off in the fourth.
Yeah, I
It
turned it
was
off at half. Like it was
I
done.
don't. I can't. It's hard for me to watch football on Saturday and Sunday, and if I get the chance to skip out on Saturday, I will, depending on the quality of the game. And it wasn't all that great of a game because they were kicking ass. So
Well, we were out to eat on Friday when Wisconsin was playing whoever they were playing. And so like people were excited for it because it was like the first college game. It like even though we're used to sports with no fans, like college football without fans is just
it
it's
was weird.
pointless.
Yeah,
It
it was
doesn't
really
make
weird.
sense.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that too. Like I haven't. I think the NFL does a good job of not showing the stands all that often. And in the college broadcast, they aren't doing that apparently, at least for Fox, because you could maybe it's just because like the stadiums are set up differently that it's more visible. But I definitely noticed it during that game.
Well, and like the stands are so close to the sideline in college too that like you can't help, and it's like 5,000 fans versus 0 fans. Like even with like crowd noise, like it just doesn't make sense. Like it's weird. It's almost well, Wisconsin, they just shut down their program for at least a week today because of it.
Yeah,
So it's like
that. Who are they playing this weekend, or who were they supposed to play? I forget. Was it?
I don't know. It like I know their one quarterback got it, so it must have spread through there.
That sucks.
Let's talk about something that matters, like pro football. I don't care about college football anymore. Like it just doesn't matter. Like go Bucks and all that, but I don't care.
I was really into it last year, and I don't know if it's just because COVID and the start to the season was all off and stuff, but man, last year I loved like just waking up Saturday watching game day, and then I tried to watch a little bit of every game that was on, but it just hasn't been the same this year.
Well, college is just like it's like pro football is pro football. Like you watch pro football for like the game and the strategy and like the hits and like the players. But like college is like the atmosphere. Like that's all of what college football is. So like college game day, there's no fans there. Like so that's not exciting. Like I don't want to sit and watch them talk about college football for 3 hours.
I don't watch college game day anymore because it's boring. It's boring.
And then but then the games are just weird. And like you could at least pretend that like the crowd noise that they're pumping through the TV is like the real crowd noise when there's some people in the stands for pro football. But I mean, even like the noise doesn't even really matter that much on the TV anyway. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But NFL news, we'll start right off the rip with like the most impressive football play over the last 100 years. DK Metcalf chasing down Budda Baker is amazing. Like I don't see how more people aren't talking about. Like remember when that guy jumped from space and like parachuted just like he jumped from space? Like this is that, but the NFL version. I don't know why people
hunted down by the Terminator. Like
that
was insane. Yeah,
it doesn't even. Did you see the video like where it was Budda Baker mic'd up and he's like, "How the fuck did he catch me?" Like,
oh my god, I gotta find that. That's great,
dude. Like he hits him and he gets like all excited and then he's like walking back down the sideline towards like where the team's at. And he's like, "How the fuck did he catch me?"
Yeah, wait until you see the replay, bud.
Yeah, it's crazy,
man. God, closing speed. Sure.
And like the pursuit angle, like that's just like a perfect like Pee-wee football.
Did you see like the over the top view of like just X's and O's?
Yeah.
And how fast he closed in, it was crazy.
It's insanity. He's an animal. Once he he's put it together this year. Like it's like he looks great. He's fast and he can catch the ball and all that stuff. But like once he like really hits his prime, like that Seattle team's gonna be insanity.
Yeah.
Another like I think the best team in football maybe of all time are the Steelers after this past weekend. They stopped Derrick Henry, which is impossible.
Yeah.
They're just so good at football.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch that game. I saw that they were up big in the first half, and then Tennessee made it interesting in the second half. Did you watch any of that?
I watched replays of it because it was on at the same time as the Browns game.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what the weak point was, like how they were able to come back. Was it the defense just gave, or did the offense stall out? I'll have to see if I can find some clips of that.
I think it's more like the offense kind of stalled. Like they didn't really do anything, but like also when Derrick Henry's running it down your throat for 4 quarters, like you're gonna score points. Like it's just gonna happen. But they stopped him long enough to, and I think that's kind of, and I mean it's easier said than done. Is you stop Derrick Henry from running the ball down your throat and get points on the board while you can, and then hope that you have a good enough lead. I think that's what the story is going to be.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean the Titans are still gonna be tough, but the Steelers look really good. And I talked a lot of shit on their first couple game schedule there, but they look legit. You have to give it to them now. I mean,
yeah, I just wonder if they're gonna like peter out and get injured with like the early bye week and not really even having them.
Yeah, the early bye week's gonna suck, and they still play Baltimore twice too. So
those are gonna be fun games to watch. Like those are gonna be games that I'll watch just for fun.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's this weekend, so. I'll have to see if I can if it's on, or I don't know what time it's on. Hopefully it's like a later game, but we'll see.
That'd be a good like Sunday night game.
I don't think it is,
Falcons are
though.
garbage. Yeah, oh, that'd be cool. Falcons are trash. The Todd Gurley play, like I saw I was watching yesterday. I was homesick from work, so I was watching Get Up, and Marcus Spears said he was sitting there and they're talking about Todd Gurley, and he's like, "Sorry, I'm not good enough to not score." Like, like he's like, you are taught from like age 8 to run the ball as hard as you can, especially as a running back, run over everybody and get into the end zone. And then he realized it like half a second too late.
Yeah, that was just the hair over the line too. Oh, it sucks.
And it's such a weird thing that like they blame him for that though, when like the defense didn't stop him. Like that's what nobody's pointing out.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Steelers Ravens game is the 1:00 game. The Sunday night game is Cowboys Eagles. Come on, flex that shit. What are you doing?
You gotta. They flexed Steelers versus somebody else like on week 11.
A couple weeks later, yeah. I don't think they can flex games until after week 8 or something like that. I forget. There's a deadline or like a season. There's a point in the season where they're allowed to do that, and they're not allowed to do it yet. I don't think. But
what a bad idea.
That's a terrible Sunday night game.
Well, and I mean, and that's going to be on the same time as our game. So, like, I'm not going to flip back, especially since I have to legally stream the fucking game. Like, I'm not going to click back and forth and go through all the ads.
Yep. Yeah, it's annoying. All
right. Since Jimmy's going to freeze every other goddamn second because he wants to do the podcast out on his porch, Baker Mayfield is the AFC offensive player.
I can hear you, so it's good.
I know, but it's like it's just that's why I have to do it. Like I'm not gonna like not say something about it for the video.
I know. Go ahead.
Baker Mayfield, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. We can do it either now or we can do it in a minute on how I've kind of flipped on Baker, but it's one of those like games where like yes, he was the offensive player of the week. The numbers look great, but it didn't seem like it was that good while it was happening. Is that weird to say?
Yeah. I mean, I hit the fourth quarter and I was like, oh shit, he has like 18 passes in a row. You know, it just didn't seem. I mean, he had 5 touchdowns. You can't take that performance away from him. It just seemed average.
But it didn't seem like 5 touchdowns.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I mean, great game. I'm not going to tell you it wasn't a great game. It was. You're right. It didn't seem like a highlight, you know? I don't know. It was kind of strange.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's kind of the point. We'll do all the Baker stuff here. But like, it doesn't make sense. Like, and we'll like after the first interception, like we'll bleed this into like the whole review. It doesn't matter. But like, started 0 for 5 with the interception that killed JC Treader for half a second, and OBJ's done for the season because of that one play. Like after that, it was like, all right, here we go again. Like this, like forcing it way early, and it's like, why can't? And then he does this. Like he does. What was it? Like 21 out of 22 for the rest of the game, and
22 out of 23, and the one incompletion after that was a spike. Yeah.
Okay, so you have that and 5 touchdowns. Without arguably one of the best wide receiver talents of all time in the NFL. Like, why can't Baker Mayfield get like any sort of rapport? Like Landry's still kind of rocky, like after all this time, but like he can throw to Donovan Peoples-Jones forever. Like Hollywood Higgins, he's like a magnet too all the time. Like why is he so good with these no-name guys and he can't do it with like pros?
The thing is, like, we've known he's been good with Higgins. He was good with Higgins any chance he got last year, which he didn't get many chances, and he was great with him in 2018. It's a weird. I'm happy there's chemistry. Hopefully that means he'll play more. I mean, he's going to have to now because we're so we don't have any depth anymore at wide receiver.
Bryant and Hooper, he's money with those guys too. Yeah, like it's everybody except for the wide receivers that he should have that good.
Except for the guy that should catch everything that comes his way. Yeah,
and I mean Landry's even still a little bit off, and like this is year 3.
Landry had a really good game though too. I mean,
He did. I'm
he's
not saying
been
that he
having a
didn't,
great
but
season. Yeah, he's been having a great season. I'm not gonna dog Landry at all, but the lack of chemistry between him and OBJ is just astounding. It's insane. I don't understand it. But we're
but
not
and
going to worry about it now for a while. So
yeah, we're not going to have to worry about that. I don't think. I mean, if he wasn't hurt the whole season or whatever, maybe get something for him to trade it, maybe in the off season or something like that. But I
yeah,
think
I
my
texted
big
you. I texted you during the game. I was like, "Fuck it, trade him." I didn't realize he was out for the season at that time, so we're not going to be able to trade him. But I'm I think his mindset is to force it to OBJ, and it makes terrible throws and just bad decisions. It's OBJ is the first read. Don't look at anything else. Just go straight to OBJ and make a bad throw. When OBJ is not out there, he can actually go through the readings and find the right guy, and it just happens to be Higgins, which is a good thing. So
Yeah, and this is kind of like the main question I wanted to bring up with Baker Mayfield because like everybody wanted to bury him last week. I was one of those people. Like last week was the first week I kind of like broke on him a little bit, but I even said like if he looked like shit against the Bengals, that's kind of when I was going to do it. Like I
yeah,
still had hope. But let's say we don't pick him number 1, but we pick him with the 4 spot. Does he still get criticized like this that much? Because I don't think so. Like if
no,
we
no,
would have,
absolutely not. Yeah, yeah, I don't think
and
so.
and I mean, he would have still had the swag. He still would have had all that other stuff. But like, if we pick him with the 4 instead of the 1, which like I'm a big fan of draft what you if the player you want is there, draft him no matter where it's at. And they obviously wanted Baker Mayfield. And I mean, of course, that regime's not in there anymore. But like, he's
Right.
still a good player, and we needed a quarterback, and he's the best quarterback we've had in 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you pick him? But just because he's number 1, people just want to bury him as soon as they can.
Yeah. I was thinking about this before we started recording because I saw that on the agenda. Interesting just to think about. So say we still have the number 1 pick, we don't take Baker, and you're saying we take him at 4. I don't think he's there at 4. I think we end up taking Saquon at 1. Sam Darnold goes number 2 to the Giants. Baker goes 3 to the Jets. And then we would end up with Josh Allen. Do you think we'd be in a better situation in that scenario too? With
But
Josh Allen?
do you think the Jets take Baker? Because like Baker he was like the Heisman, but like it was like the day of that like the Baker going number 1 was like the rumor. He wasn't even like rated to go that early.
Yeah, I mean, this is all hypothetical, but
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
but I mean, the
I just
answer
think
is
that
yes. I think
that's
Josh
not
Allen would have been a
over.
good pick. I like
Yeah,
Josh Allen. He's got a rocket for an arm. He's not going to get hurt ever. He's tall. He runs the ball well. But he's not as accurate. So I mean,
yeah.
with
I'm
this
looking
team,
at
he
this.
wouldn't be as good.
I'm looking at the draft list from 2018. I forgot Josh Rosen was in that class. I feel like he's been in the league forever, just because he's
He would,
been everywhere now.
yeah, he went 10, right?
He went 10 to the Cardinals. They traded him to the Dolphins the next year, and now he's with Tampa.
Yeah, that was the year. I thought that they should have picked Baker at 1 and then traded, like, obviously the Ravens traded up to take Lamar, but I thought that since we had that extra pick later in the round, that we put on Callaway.
Callaway was like in the 3rd, I think.
Oh, who was it? It was, I mean, because it was Baker, Denzel. Who was, because we
Yeah,
had 3 first round
it
picks,
was.
didn't we?
No, we had 2. We had the first and 3rd picks in the 2nd round. We took Austin Corbett with the 33rd pick
Okay.
and Chubb with the 35th.
So we should have taken. I thought so. This was my like grand theory of the whole thing is maybe trade up. So you get Baker, you get whoever at 4, which would have been Ward. Trade up and get Lamar Jackson, just so you have those 2 rookie quarterbacks. So one of them is bound to work out. Like I loved Lamar Jackson when he played for
Yeah,
Louisville. Like I loved watching him. Like I didn't think he would be this good, but like it was like one of those. All right, at least you have like trade bait or something, and like you can
yeah,
take your offense one way or the other. Like
yeah. I don't
I thought
know.
that would have
That's
been
a
big.
big what if. Yeah,
Right.
for
But it
sure.
happens. But so like the big thing is like that's it, we're gonna deal with this forever though. Like it's gonna be every game. If he has a
Yeah, it's gonna
bad
be every
game,
week.
we're gonna bury him. Like which
Yep.
brings me to like let's like wide out picture. I don't think we're 5-2 good. We're obviously 5-2. We beat the teams we're supposed to beat, but I don't think we're 5-2 good. I also don't think we're 4-3 bad, even though we had this team at 4-3 before the season at this point. Like on our rundown, we had them. Both of us had them being 4-3 different
Yeah.
ways to this point.
Right.
I feel like they're not a 5-2 good team. I think they've had a couple of good things roll their way. Stefanski is actually a good head coach, and like that helps. But I don't think that they're a good 5-2 team, and that almost makes me worried for the rest of the season until
Yeah.
people get unhurt.
Yeah. If you look at the standings, it's hard. I mean, let's look at other 5-2 teams. The Bucks are 5-2. I don't think we're better than the Bucks, obviously. The Bears are 5-2. Do you think we're better than the Bears?
I think so.
That's a good measure to go off of. The Cardinals and the Rams are 5-2.
I don't think the Cardinals we could beat right now because our defense can't stop shit. And then the Rams, that would be a fun. Like what the Rams did to the Bears, I think is what we would do to the Bears. I think we're like right on that level with the Rams.
Okay. That's a good goal. And then the Bills are 5-2.
I think the Bills beat us right now. Maybe later in the season we make it a good game.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think that's right where we're at. I mean, like the Ringer had us at 11 again, which I think is fair.
Where were we last week again? 13?
I think same spot. It was either 13 or 12 or 11.
13, yeah.
We've like fluctuated between 11 and 13 since the season started. So like I think that's fair. The biggest bummer of the week, I mean, obviously OBJ's leg fell off, but the GOAT, he missed one. He missed the extra point, cost a bunch of people a bunch of money, I guess. Because the spread was 3.5, and we only won by 3 because of that.
Oh, damn you, Cody Parkey. You're done. Get out of here.
I know. You had to miss at some point. Why not miss when it doesn't matter? So, I mean, I'm glad he got it out of his system.
Yeah, I missed that. I was like excited, for the win, obviously, and I think that's when I texted you. And then I was looking at my phone, and then I look up, and I'm like, I think he missed that shit.
Yeah, I was really upset about it. Like I went from like I wasn't like mad at the game at all because like the defense couldn't stop anything, and I think Joe Burrow's just really good at football. I think that's what that comes down to. I mean, obviously our defense is what the defense is, and I think the defense is. I honestly think that's what it is. Like they know that they are going to like they are weak on defense, so they're going for the big swings and the big plays. And when you're facing somebody like Joe Burrow, who's not going to make a bad play except for like when Myles Garrett just destroys him, like then you're gonna like it's gonna be tough. Like you're gonna look rough.
Right.
But I think that's what that is. But I don't know. Like it was a fun game. It was a good game. I think Cincinnati, if they get their shit together, they're gonna be a real like the AFC North is gonna be a problem for a while.
Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully Pittsburgh falls off soon when Big Ben gets retired. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Mason Rudolph being the fucking quarterback of their future. The biggest thing, I mean, we were wrong on our analysis again. I think we need to switch it up. Can't run the ball without Nick Chubb.
No.
I
don't know what's up. It's crazy.
Yeah, they always say like a good line makes the running back, but I feel like Nick Chubb's that good that like he just
makes the line look good. Yeah.
So that's good.
You always thought like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt were on like the same level, like they're both top 5 backs in the league. You could swap either of them out, but that is definitely not the case right now. You didn't realize how good you had it with Nick Chubb.
And I mean, Kareem Hunt's still good. I mean, he's still
he's still good. I'm not saying he's not, but it's just.
But he's not the forward. Like he's not the north and south runner. He's just not.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, that's it. Anything else on week 7?
No, not that I can think of. I think I'm good.
We're 5-2. I mean, the defense looked it's great. There's nothing really to complain about. I mean, obviously.
Well, I'll complain about Andrew Sandejo real quick. He's terrible.
He's the worst. He's the worst player. He's the worst football player of all time. Yeah, he's not good. We need to get him out of there. Why I understand that strong safety and free safety are two different positions, but we've got other people who can stand there and like at least look like they know how to play football.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It just seems like he's always late to the play. He's always like, um, he always looks like he's trying, like he's quicker than he is because he's getting there late. So he's acting like, oh, it's here the whole time. Like I always see him like so scattered when he's like coming in late to a play. It drives me crazy.
He like probably looks great on game film, but like it just looks so
Yeah.
hokey.
Like he looks like he's hustling. He's just not quick enough. Like,
like I remember in football, there would always be like that kid who was like really fast, but he was lazy. But like he always like looked like he was running a lot harder than he was, but he was like doing like that weird walk jog thing. So it like looked like he was putting a lot of effort, and that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
All right, week 8 preview. Shout out to Carl Nassib, defensive end for the Raiders.
I love Carl Nassib. I wish we still had him. He's probably going to destroy us this week because that's how it happens when we get rid of good players. But
wasn't he down in
he was in
Tampa Bay for a hot second? Yeah, and he got a sack on us last year.
Yeah, he had a good game last year. Yeah. So probably destroy us this week, but
I was excited. I was like looking up stats because I haven't watched any Vegas games, so I had to like actually research for this. And like I saw his name on there, and I didn't look at any of his stats, but I love Carl Nassib, and I wish everything goes well to him. But the Raiders, yeah, not this week. I think we'll be all right. I'm not that worried about their defense. We'll get there in a minute. Raiders 3-3, coming off of a real hard loss to the Tampa Bay TB12s, where they just got destroyed. I had the score, but I don't have it.
20 or something like that, I think.
It was 45-20.
Yeah. I was gonna say they lost by more than 20 points, I think. So.
Well, and that's what like this team. I don't know what to think of. Like it's like how we went through like the 5-2 teams. Like they're 3-3, so like our record's better than theirs. But like the teams that they played, New Orleans, they beat in week 1.
Yep.
They lost to New England when they were real hot. They lost to Buffalo before Buffalo started losing anything. Then they beat the shit out of Kansas City. Like that score wasn't as close as that game. And then they just got the shit kicked out of them by Tampa Bay after their bye week. So I don't know if like if they're not good, if like I mean obviously on paper they're not a great team, but they were playing good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean hopefully their defense will bend and we can get some big plays out of them and establish the run.
I don't think that's
bigger good situations, but we'll see what happens.
Well, their defense, I did look up this stat. Last week they gave up 454 yards. And that was oddly close to what we gave up last week. And my note on this game is like they almost look like our team. And if I've learned anything being a Browns fan, is that if any team's going to beat the Browns, it's going to be the Browns. So, but if we're going to beat anybody, it's going to be the Browns. So it's like one of those, I don't know which way to lean on, because like their defense looks a lot like ours. Their offense, like they put up like the exact same amount of yards as we did last week, but it was against Tampa Bay. And the biggest thing is like at first, like Derek Carr looks like he's taking care of the ball because he's only got 13 touchdowns, or he's got 13 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, which is great. But he's got 6 fumbles himself on the year.
Oh, okay.
That's Myles Garrett. That's
Myles is gonna have right? Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be. I don't think the Raiders are tough. Like I don't like their defense. I think they're a whole team of Andrew Sendehos. Like I think that we're gonna be able to like get an offense going against them. But can our defense keep up with us?
Yeah, just got to put us in good situations. Control Derek Carr. If he's fumble prone, let's get to him. Let's see the pressure come through.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be like the big thing. My stupid thing broke off because Ashley got on her computer, and now it should still be recording.
No, he's not out here. Yep.
Tell your neighbor I said what's up.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Wild.
It's a lack of
Like everything just like we were on a good roll, and then everything just fell to shit. Like Ashley opened up her computer and like the Zoom, like we're still recording, but like my background dropped off because it locked me off of Ashley's thing. Your neighbor shows up. This is like high quality production value.
Yeah,
This is why you need
it's
to
a live
share it with
show.
people. Like we have
Yeah,
a good time, but we need like a studio or something.
yeah.
That we can smoke in.
Smoke in the garage next time. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It is what it is. But so the big thing, need to take advantage of the big plays. Um, like last week, you got to take the big swings, but try not to throw the interceptions. Because I think the way that our offense is going to run with Kareem Hunt, like he's not going to do the north-south running.
Right.
We're going to have to do a lot more of the Landry runs. But I feel like the short passes to Kareem Hunt and then like those little hitch routes to the tight ends, that's our running game now. Like I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
it until Nick Chubb comes back.
Yeah. I agree.
And then
My
just
biggest
try
thing,
not to throw a pick.
yeah, my biggest thing is don't force anything. Just take the opportunity that's there for you. And I hope Baker learns his lesson. And with the OBJ not being on the field anymore, he's not going to force those stupid plays. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be. I think that's the big thing. Like he's not going to I feel like we should. Sorry, Ashley texted me. But like I want to look at the film and see how many of those passes he's trying to force to OBJ. Like he's always in the vicinity, or like he's holding on too long and then sees something last second. I feel like that's going to be a huge thing.
Yeah, it's like he's staring down OBJ and then looking at the second read at the last second, and there's pressure in his face.
Yeah, and I think that'll be okay. But Lana, I mean, I think we both had this game as a win. Are you changing your mind at all on that?
No, we should win this game.
Okay. Here, let's move this up so we can do it all in one spot. What do you think the score is going to be? So we both have it as a dub.
I'm gonna go 34-22.
34-22. So do you think that we are? Oh, that's less than the Buccaneers. I was gonna say, do you think we're the Buccaneers? I'm going. How does this? 34 does sound good. I'm going high scoring again because I've been under. Let's do 42-34.
Wow. Okay.
I think like both of the defenses are kind of trash.
True. Very true. Okay.
I feel like I don't know if Josh Jacobs is playing, but I think it's gonna be like dueling quarterbacks, like Derek Carr versus Baker Mayfield, which I don't think at this point in his career is a terrible comp. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad comp. I don't think we have enough speed on the defense to keep up with their fast wide receivers right now either, especially across the middle of the field. I can see them throwing a lot of deep balls.
Big plays, but hopefully it's enough. So.
Well, the FanDuel spread on this too, since we didn't touch on it.
Oh yeah,
Browns are -2.5, and we're blowing through the over/under. The over/under is 51.5.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Are they counting on the defense on that? Jeez,
I know
they're trash. The Raiders have given up like 200 plus points this year. I mean, so have we, but I had that here. Oh no, they're at 197 points against. So, and we're at 221.
Yeah, but we've scored that's bad. But I mean, how many of that is in 70? Some of that is in 2 games.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, that's not, and that's almost like piling on.
Right.
So all right, so we got that. Anything else you're looking at on week 8?
No, not that I can think of. I think I'm good.
All right, another quick one. That's good. That's always a good thing. Don't forget to vote, Jimmy.
I already did. I'm good. I'm done.
Oh, vote for Joe Jorgensen?
I sent in my multiple ballots, so.
Who do you have going into the Hall of Fame this year?
All of the unsolicited ballots that I've received, I sent them all in. So
I'm still like I should have. I might go this weekend just to get it out of the way with, but like I didn't get a mail in or anything like that. And I like voting on election day. Like it's like the pomp and circumstance. Like I like giving the poll worker shit because they never know how to do their job. Like it's like my annual thing that I like to do is like have them kind of try to give me some shit and be like, well, actually, and it's just a fun thing. Like I don't know why I like shitting on volunteers who like democracy, but I do.
the early voting lines in Lucas County here have been insane. Apparently, they've been like around the block every time they've been open. It's crazy.
I saw the ones for Cleveland were crazy, but
Yeah.
also like don't stand in line to early vote. Like I don't know. Like I get it. You can get like it's the same as a mail-in ballot. You just turn it in there. Like that's what early
Yeah.
voting is. So why
Yeah,
wouldn't you just get your mail-in ballot and then turn it in? Like you don't.
Yeah. Lucas County was really far behind. It took me a month and a half to get mine. And they're saying that the deadline is Saturday to request one, and you'll get it before the election. There's no way in hell you're getting it if you request it on Saturday and have it postmarked by Tuesday. There's no way.
Our election system's been destroyed for a while. It's going to be wild. Like I'm hosting, come to the Skyline Comedy Club next weekend. But like I'm hosting like Thursday through Saturday, and like I'll be surprised if we know who the president is by the end of that weekend.
I'm still saying we're going to find out from Jim Nantz and Tony Romo during the Lions game on Thanksgiving.
That's a long time.
I think that's how long it's going to take.
I could see maybe that Sunday. Like it's going to be close and like it's going to be.
It'll be Sunday, like the Sunday after.
Here's the thing: they count mail-in ballots. This is what a lot of people don't understand: is mail-in ballots are always counted last, anyways.
Right.
So, like it's
you can't open them until election day, right?
It's weird. It depends on what state and all that other stuff. So like they know who's got it, but they don't release those stats until election day. So like it's a weird thing. Like in mail-in voting is just like voting itself is kind of shady. Like it doesn't make sense, and like you can like move stuff around and do all that stuff and like voter intimidation, all that stuff. But mail-in's always just been real sketchy to me because if you don't like postmark it the exact correct way, they throw it away. If you don't fill out the front the exact right way, they throw it away, and they don't tell you. So like a lot of people will send in their ballot wrong and think that it's right, and they just throw it away. So like it's a wild situation. I don't know, but make sure you vote twice. I don't know. It doesn't. It's gonna be weird. Like the Civil War is gonna be real fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
We're gonna have a new Bachelorette next week too. That's gonna be fun. Have you been watching?
Fuck no, I have not been watching. Rose was trying to get me to do it the other day, and I said no, I can't. She can watch it.
It's a good one.
In the basement.
Claire fell in love with this dude instantly. And so like it's just been basically her dating this guy and like 20 other dudes watching her date this guy. And it's been hilarious. And so they're bringing in another contestant from the like in the past, and it's supposed to be this week. So maybe new president, but more importantly, new Bachelorette.
Okay.
I have shirts up currently on bonfire.com. You can get it through my website, whoisrayroberts.com. I like them. They're fun. I just wanted to do the like the Browns colors on it with my logo. So I mean,
oh yeah, I was wondering about that if that was what you did with the orange.
Well, it's just like one of the colors that was on there, but like I liked the orange and like it looks cool. So I like it. So if you want to do that, do that. Because that'd be super fun. So I don't know. I'm selling them for like less than what the like what they wanted me to mark it up on. Like so I had to sell like a minimum, and we hit the minimum. So you'll get a shirt. It's like really cheap too for like a personalized t-shirt. So or sweatshirt. There's t-shirts. There's lady shirts. Get one if you want. I'll make 50 cents off of it. So that'd be cool. I just want people. I like shit with my name on it, so I want people to wear it. It's really a vanity play.
I was wearing my shirt yesterday, actually, but yeah.
The original one?
Just my. Oh,
your Beers Bourbon Barbecue one.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Like you just like even though it's like a lot of people. I'm not gonna like pull the curtain back too much, but like it's a lot easier to do than a lot of people think. And so
Yeah.
like it's cool to have something that like you created and it's real fun. Like not many people do it, so why the fuck not? I don't know.
Hey, if
All
those go,
right.
we'll get Browns out of town shirts. I'll go in with you on them. So
I want to get like an old boot. We'll figure it out.
that can be an offline conversation. This is getting boring.
Yeah, we've just been fucking off for the last 7 minutes. All right. WhoisRayRoberts.com, at whoisRayRoberts, at Browns Out of Town on the socials. Check out Beers Bourbon Barbecue on the Instagrams. We'll do a cigar Sunday again at some point when it's not 0 degrees out. It's just been too goddamn cold. And it's dark early, so it doesn't make sense. And it's just like a real bummer. So one of these days we'll do it again, but keep a lookout for everything. Make sure you rate, review, share, subscribe. Jimmy, anything else from you?
No, I'm good.
All righty, go Browns.
Go Browns.
Football!